Still young now, so there's more of me to come, isn't there? I've been, from an amateur.
I say if I lost, I get and
I retire.
I retired. Yeah, I say hey, it's not good.
You have to keep boxing.
Yeah, you young. You can training.
Well, this is my chance to, write my name in stone. This is legacy building.
Daniel Dubois breaks silence. I'm not retiring, but the doubt still lingers. Daniel Dubois has finally shut down all the retirement rumors. That's right, the heavyweight contender isn't going anywhere. After weeks of speculation and online noise, Dubois has come out swinging with a firm message. He's still in the game, still chasing great
Hunger and desire and, as you're a fighter, you want to become the best. So that and the team I have around me, my dad and that circle in a circle.
And nowhere near finished. For now at least, he's silenced the doubters. His hunger remains, but questions about his heart still linger. Eddie Hearn weighed in with his usual calm confidence, backing Dubois while cutting through the chaos. He made it clear, there's no retirement, no need for overreactions. According to Hearn, Dubois just fought and needs time. No panic, no damage control. Just trust the process. But not everyone's buying it. Even Alexander Usyk, the man who handed Dubois the most humbling defeat of his career, has chimed in. Only now, Usyk sounds more like a mentor than a rival. You're still young, don't retire, he says. On the surface it sounds like encouragement, but dig deeper, and it feels like pity. That's rich coming from the man who mentally dismantled him. Usyk isn't lifting Dubois up.
I don't believe it. If I want to say, I don't believe him. I just don't. I think
Up, he's subtly reminding the world who exposed him. When your former opponent starts offering motivational speeches, it's less respect and more a reminder of who really holds the power. Frank Warren, Dubois' promoter, tried to be supportive, but even his words dripped with concern. I hope he can come again, Warren said. A statement that reveals more doubt than confidence. At 27, Dubois should be hitting his prime. Instead, he's facing a full-blown mental rebuild. Warren's public questioning of Dubois' health speaks volumes. The damage wasn't just physical, it was emotional. That wasn't a hard fight.
Not that. It's boxing, it's not ballet, it's not dancing, Daniel. You can. You can dream. Man, dude. Relax, man.
Battle. That was psychological domination, and Usyk orchestrated it perfectly. Meanwhile, the heavyweight division moves forward without Dubois. Then came Derek Chisora, who didn't bother dressing it up. No filters, no sympathy, just brutal honesty. In true Chisora fashion, he ripped Dubois apart. To him, Dubois wasn't just weak, he was distracted. Chisora mocked the excuses about body shots and illegal punches, calling them what they are, nonsense. You're a liar, he spat, making it crystal clear. If Dubois wants respect, he has to earn it the hard way. No pity, no handouts. The boxing world is watching. Dubois says he's not done, but talk is cheap. Now he has to prove it. Daniel Dubois wants the glory, but not the grind. To be in the killer's circle, you have to live like one, train like one.
It's up to him. It was a tough night for him, a tough night. Is he okay, health-wise? He's obviously very, very disappointed. But in terms of, that was brutal, that knockout, Frank. Is he okay? He got up.
Lead like one. That's where Dubois falls short. He craves the status, but not the sacrifice. For years, he's been pampered, hyped, and protected. That's why real warriors like Derek Chisora have no respect for how he folded against Usyk. Losing to a great like Usyk isn't shameful, but quitting and making excuses afterward, that's unforgivable. Usyk didn't even need to boast. He dismantled Dubois and walked away like it was routine. Meanwhile, the fallout from Dubois' corner only made things worse. Chisora didn't hold back. He exposed what Dubois' own trainer said after the fight, and it was disgraceful. All that noise about a body shot, all that denial. It's pure fiction. Chisora flat out called it. Dubois didn't break down. He quit. And the corner, instead of accountability, they erupted with insults and excuses, lashing out at legends rather than answering real questions. That kind of reaction doesn't come from confidence. It comes from guilt.
Of body shot, you're a liar, and all this for no reason. And why?
Chisora's frustration is raw because the truth is obvious. Dubois was handed the blueprint and still failed. His team didn't prepare him mentally, and when the heat came they tossed in the towel, without him even hitting the canvas. This wasn't just a loss, it was an emotional collapse on the biggest stage of his career. Usyk didn't just beat Dubois, he exposed every crack in his foundation, and those cracks don't get sealed in one training camp. Then comes Eddie Hearn, stepping back in with carefully chosen words. But even his praise feels more like a quiet farewell than support. Saying if that's the last we see of him, doesn't exactly scream confidence in a comeback. It sounds like someone placing flowers on a fading legacy. Dubois' fall from promise to pity. The final nails are in flowers, on the grave of a once promising career. That's what Eddie Hearn might as well be laying down. Sure,
I don't understand. You know, they were supposed to train him different. They did not. I mean, like, it's big time. It was set for him to win it. You know, it was set for him to win it. You know, when I went to graduate, he said, "How you feel?" You know, Don Child goes to me, "Oh, go suck your best friend's dick."
Wraps his words in respect, but make no mistake, that's the kind of language promoters use when they know the public has already moved on. Let's not forget, Dubois was once hailed as the future of British heavyweight boxing. Now he's spoken about in the past tense. This isn't retirement talk, it's irrelevance creeping in. Meanwhile, Oleksandr Usyk's stock keeps rising. He doesn't need second chances or sympathetic interviews. He shows up and delivers. That's the difference between a champion and a could-have been. And the breakdown doesn't stop there. Hearn delivers the final blow with a cold, clinical assessment of how Usyk broke Dubois down round by round. No fluff, no excuses. After round 1, Usyk took over. That wasn't strategy from Dubois. It was survival. Sure, he came out
to make the biggest fight in boxing, but you know, if that is the last we see of him, he's had a great career. I doubt it. But, you know, it's always best to come into retirement to make sure someone pays you to come out of retirement. But if that's his lot, much respect to him.
Swinging, but it reeked of desperation, not design. Once Usyk planted his feet and pushed back, the fight flipped instantly, and Dubois had no answer. He froze. That moment defined the gap between elite and exposed. Hearn's breakdown, though subtle, is brutal. He saw the same thing we all did. Dubois had one round of hope, then got mentally dismantled by a superior fighter. This wasn't close. Usyk didn't need controversy, didn't need tricks. He just stood his ground and bullied Dubois out of his own confidence. It was surgical. That's why Hearn isn't calling for a rematch, because there's nothing left to prove. Then comes Joseph Parker, and he doesn't flinch. He calls it straight. Usyk didn't win with one big punch or fluky moment. He broke Dubois down slowly, methodically. No chaos.
Usyk was under pressure in the first round because Dubois comes out fast like he did against AJ, and if he catches you, you're in trouble. And I think just after that, he just decided basically, I'm not going to go on the back foot anymore. I'm going to take the fight to Dubois. And he just kind of beat him up and obviously stops him. I mean, he's beaten AJ twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice.
Just skill, control, and championship-level composure. While Dubois fans cried foul over body shots and begged for controversy, Parker cut through the noise. This wasn't a controversial stoppage, it was a systematic collapse. And let's be honest, Dubois wasn't looking for redemption, he was looking for an exit. The retirement rumors, that wasn't surprise, it was strategy. Damage control, a way to avoid the backlash, raining down from every corner of the boxing world. But no one bought it. Parker just confirmed what many already knew. Dubois wasn't injured, he was exposed. And he quit the moment the pressure became real. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, Tony Bellew steps in. And what he says next is nothing short of a character assassination in broad daylight. Tony Bellew destroys Dubois with brutal truth and shines a light on Usyk's greatness. Tony Bellew didn't just criticize Daniel Dubois, he tore him down to the core, not as a boxer but as a man, and he didn't need paragraphs to do it. One body shot.
I'm not stunned, I know that he broke him down, right? He broke him down, he was patient. Then Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning, it was going back and forth. And he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints.
That's all Dubois fans cling to. But Bellew mocks it perfectly, saying Usyk could have laughed it off. That wasn't elite power. That was desperation disguised as offense. Bellew's words sting because they're grounded in truth. He stripped Dubois down to the essentials, and what's left isn't pretty. When the fight got tough, Daniel didn't want it. Not physically, not mentally, not spiritually. The hunger disappeared. That's why retirement rumors spread so fast, because the world saw a fighter with no fire left. Bellew's line cuts deep. The real Daniel doesn't want to fight, and that one sentence will haunt Dubois every time he approaches a ring, because he didn't just lose a fight, he lost the faith of the boxing world. The illusion is gone. Dubois isn't seen as a warrior anymore. He's a fragile wild card, with no engine. And if that wasn't harsh enough, Bellew flips the narrative, shining a spotlight on Usyk, the master tactician. While Dubois was scrambling for excuses, Usyk was making calculated adjustments.
The whole fight to which Usyk tapped his belly and just said, "What was that?" And then there was zero else coming back. And that's, in my opinion, that's the attitude and that's the mentality of a guy that when the going gets tough, he doesn't want to fight. And you can never change that.
Bellew praises how Usyk even tailored his weight to nullify Dubois' only real threat. That's championship-level thinking. No complaints, no chaos, just cold, precise dominance. While Dubois fans cried foul and leaned on retirement talk, Usyk made subtle but deadly shifts and dismantled him with ease. Bellew drives it home. No one is beating this version of Usyk. He's not just physically superior, he's intellectually miles ahead. He saw Dubois' slow feet and exploited them with surgical accuracy. The difference between the two, Usyk craves greatness, Dubois craves relief. Then Joe Gallagher steps in and delivers the technical breakdown that seals the argument. Gallagher explains how Usyk didn't just prepare for Dubois, he adapted within the fight, adjusting his stance, movement and even his weight. Usyk ensured Dubois couldn't land anything meaningful. It was a clinical display. Gallagher lays it out like a crime scene. The timing, the angles, the psychological dominance, it all points to one brutal truth. Dubois wasn't
technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed the actual feet down because Daniel Dubois
injured. He was outclassed, exposed and undone by a fighter who didn't just beat him, but erased every illusion of him being elite. Joe Gallagher breaks it down. Dubois didn't just lose. He got exposed every punch, every phase, every mistake. Analyst Joe Gallagher dissects it all, and it's nothing short of brutal. Dubois wasn't caught off guard. He walked straight into a trap. That's not misfortune. That's bad boxing. Gallagher, in his calm and clinical tone, calls it unfortunate, but the subtext is razor sharp. This was a masterclass in exposure. Dubois didn't see it coming. Worse, his corner didn't prepare him. And when things turned, he didn't have the mental switch champions flipped to recover. Gallagher makes one thing clear. Usyk's performance wasn't just technically perfect, it was intentional. Every move, every adjustment, every angle, measured and merciless. That check hook didn't just
forced him into the ropes and it just walked onto a check hook high up on the head, and then obviously in the two phases of attack, Usyk did in them with the left hook round the side of the right hand, and he executed it very.
Now the pressure just clipped Dubois physically. It crushed him psychologically. He froze, stumbled, and spiraled. That kind of collapse doesn't get fixed in a few motivational sessions. The retirement talk, that wasn't media gossip. It was a fighter's instinctive retreat from humiliation. Gallagher might be polite with his delivery, but the message lands hard. Dubois didn't belong in that ring. And now no amount of silence, cryptic posts, or PR spin can shield Dubois from the truth. The rumors of retirement weren't baseless. They were the public's response to a man who mentally tapped out under the lights. This wasn't about a questionable body shot. This was about one fighter, Usyk, methodically taking the soul of another. The way Usyk adjusted mid-fight, stood his ground, and reversed the momentum was pure brilliance. Meanwhile, Dubois looked like he wanted to disappear the moment things got difficult. Now legends across the sport are calling him out. Frank Warren sounds uncertain. Johnny Nelson doubts his resolve. Bellew mocks him. Chisora's done holding back. Dubois isn't just fighting opponents. He's drowning in a tidal wave of doubt. And while he stumbles through excuses, Usyk's legacy grows with every slow-motion breakdown. If this is the version of Dubois we're left with, then maybe retirement isn't